Fred here. Welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, I will be trying out the razor sharp edge making system. I already unboxed it, but I wanted you to see what the packaging looked like. And I'll be right back. Just wanted to go over a few notes here on the packaging before we get started. First of all, it's created with pride in the United States. I see an American flag there, which is always good. Also, there's a website, www.sharpeningwheels.com, and I actually purchased this at Woodcraft at the recommendation of one of my viewers. And once I get back upstairs, I'll hopefully I can find the person who commented and recommended this, and I'll put their link below. But I really appreciate it, and we'll try it out and see how good it is. Now, it does point out to read the instructions, and I did read the instructions right here, and it is pretty important to read the instructions. There are a lot of details. It's not just slap on the wheels onto your grinder and go. There's a little bit of stuff you need to do. So, the first thing I had to do with my grinder is remove the guards, which it actually says to remove the guards from your grinder before installing the wheels. And I really had to, because these wheels are bigger than the guards. Really, it's for let me see, I have I think this is 8-inch and they were 10-inch wheels. Let's see, we'll measure. I'm sorry, my wheels are, looks like 6-inch. And what comes with the set is 8-inch. So anyway, here's what comes with the system. You get a, by the way, all these are sort of made out of a cardboard material. I guess that's laminated together. But you get one wheel with grit glued onto it on the outside. You get another slotted cardboard wheel. And this one already has some wax on it, or rouge on it, because I tried it out, but I couldn't help myself. I had it, and I didn't want to wait, so I had to try it out. But this would look like just plain cardboard around, sort of slotted laminate cardboard. And by the way, these do have like a little plastic bushing in there, so it can fit to, you know, either the smaller or larger axles on your grinder. And you get some rouge, looks like a block of wax, and some wax and some grit. And this is just looks like black dust, if you can see it in there. And that's so you could re-grit the wheel. Like once you use the wheel a lot, you'll lose all this grit, and what you'll do is you'll clean the rest of it off, put a layer of Elmer's glue on it, and stick some grit on there. Is enough to re-grit this about 15 times. Now, the first thing it says to do, of course, is to remove the guards. And we'll just slap these on. And I'm going to bring you in close, so hold on. Okay, so you got a good view of my baby. Anyway, I don't know why, but it says for right-handed people it's better to put the grit on the right. I don't think it really matters, but I'll go ahead and do that. It's kind of a tight fit. But we'll get it on there. There we go. A little wobbly. It's as true as it's going to get. Okay, now it says that if there's any wobble, to adjust something with the bushing, it's beyond me. I don't understand it. So if things go wrong, it's probably my doing. It did say don't tighten these down too tight. So I will not tighten it down too tight. Alright, now the first thing it says to do is to wax the grit wheel, which is this wheel here. So I have the wax, I took it out of the cup. And it says for the first time to do it by hand. So we'll go ahead and wax the wheel, and then after you do this, it says you can do it while it's running. Just add a little bit. Now it says don't use too much wax, because if you use too much wax, you're going to take away the effectiveness of the grit. Now, I'm not a professional at this, I'm just sort of going by what the instructions say, so you can see what a newbie would do. Some of you might have already messed with this and know better, and I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. So there we go. Now I guess I can just sort of touch it up a little bit. And see how that looks. Okay, looks good. Now on the other side, which is the like the buffing wheel, or what would be the equivalent of stropping the knife, you want to use some of this rouge. Again, I'm putting this on the slow setting, and we'll go ahead and apply some rouge. Maybe I'll speed it up a little bit more. Alright, so let's get started. I have here a knife that my wife would like sharpened, and as you can see, it is not worthy of even cutting paper, let vegetables or anything like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is put it on the grit wheel, hopefully have it at the right angle, and run it across a couple of times and try to create a burr on the top. Basically just a little bit of metal pulling off there. That's when you know you've gotten enough, or sometimes it's referred to as a angel hair. I'm sure some of you who do this more often probably know the terms better than me. I'm going to put this all the way down low because I don't know what I'm doing. And if you do get this system, don't break out your $200 knife to try this out with. Start out with something inexpensive. Now I'm going to get in front of you, so I apologize. So I'm going to do this a couple of times. I don't want to run the video too long, and then I'll bring it back in when it's almost done, and I'll let you know how long it took. I think I'm getting close. It takes a lot of practice trying to keep your angle right and keep your position on the wheel the same. Okay. I think we're about there. So now I'm going to go to the buffing wheel, or I think that's what they call it. Technically it's called a slotted wheel. That's the grit wheel, that's the slotted wheel. I'm going to go to the slotted wheel that has the rouge on it. And this is the equivalent of like stromping it. So like, remember, well, I guess the older folks might remember going to a barber shop. They had that long piece of leather on the chair, and they would run that razor up and down. That's stropping it. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Let's see. Okay, well I need some more work, so I'm going to play with this a little bit, try to figure it out. Evidently it's not just snap on and use. You got to develop a little bit of skills, evidently. So give me some time and I'll be right back. Okay, I think I didn't have the wheel fast enough. So I'm back on the grinding wheel. You really gotta work on maintaining that angle. Now I'm gonna go over to the slotted wheel. Now it's spinning down. Yeah. Always have the blade pointing in the direction the wheel is spinning. You don't want to cut up against where the wheel is, because you might end up stabbing yourself or something. It's kind of neat, the slotted wheel. When your blade comes really close, it makes a noise. It's really weird, like a high-pitched noise. But it's something that's going to definitely take a little skill to develop. I'm not going to blame this product because I'll tell you, I've read a lot of good things about it. See? It's coming along, ain't it? There, look at that. Woo! Now I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to get the buffing wheel out, and you can see that, you know, this is pretty harsh looking just from daily use. And also I was bumping this into the wheel right here, so again, it's going to take some skills to develop, and I'll let you see the final product once I shine these back up here. So here's the final product. So to shine this up a little bit with the buffing wheel that I stuck on there, it does state in the instructions it's not a good idea to take these wheels on and off, and you know, because they'll start getting wobbly if you sort of dent this little plastic buffer in there, or whatever you call it. I've never been for technical terms, let alone usually can't pronounce them. So, made it look pretty. It does cut well. Definitely cuts a lot better than it used to. And, wow, I think we're there, really. Pretty good, pretty good. So we got a nice sharp knife. It's pretty, sort of breathed a little new life into this old, very old kitchen knife. It's been around quite a while. I wasn't sure what this was called until I saw on the base they labeled it. For idiots like me, this is a parer. This is a parer, Parer knife made by Fiberware. Not very expensive, but almost looks new. So I don't know if you can see how shiny. If you look at the edge right here, you can see how it sort of has a shine because it almost polishes. This wheel here really just almost polishes that edge. Incredible. So don't expect to, let me pan up here. Do not expect to just take this thing right out of the box and just slap it onto your sander and go for it and expect good results. There are some comments on the Woodcraft website that say, oh, this doesn't work, it's crap. I sanded all the grit off the wheel with one knife or two knives, and you know, you gotta get a feel for it. It's not something that you just instantly can do. So with that said, once you develop some skills, it's quite evident that this can do an outstanding job sharpening your knives. So I'm impressed now. It did take, I'd say, a good 20-30 minutes out here in my freezing garage. My nose is dripping, to be able to get a good edge on this knife. And I think part of it is I almost reshaped the whole edge of the knife. It was probably steeper, and I sort of always go for these more pointier type edges, so I had to take a lot of metal off, which really not ideal for kitchen knives because you know, good for paper cutting, but it's not going to hold an edge very long if you start getting it really, you know, the angles down that far. So I don't know, we'll see how well it holds up. So thank you very much again for stopping by the Gear Obsession channel. Based on the comments from my last episode, it sounds like you want to see some electronics. So I have some memory and a fan that's coming in the mail. And before I lose my voice, I'm sorry. I'm going to maybe take you through installing RAM. We'll talk about matching up front side bus speeds and processors and motherboards while we do that. I did say I was going to sort of build the computer in front of you. I might have implied that, but let me tell you, it's too hard to do that with a camera between you and the computer. And with the way that I was feeling these past couple of days, I wasn't ready to deal with it. And I apologize because I really wanted to do that for you guys, but I just wasn't up for it. But I will show you the computer, and we'll put some RAM in it. I'll open it up, and it's kind of neat because it's a little ITX, tiny little computer, and everything is just crammed in it so tight. It's a first for me to do one that small. Anyway, again, thank you very much for stopping by the Gear Obsession channel. I appreciate every viewer, subscriber, and friend.